Zillow's May 2026 home value estimate hits $1,311,511 in one Seattle neighborhood. This countdown ranks Seattle's 5 priciest neighborhoods by square foot, all at $600 or more. For the per-foot side, Redfin's price per square foot figures from May 31st, 2026 are the scoreboard. That matters because a blended median can hide the real cost of space. A smaller condo-heavy area can look lower priced overall, while still charging a steep amount for every foot. These are area-wide residential aggregates, so think of them as a neighborhood-level snapshot, not a quote on any one home. Number 5 is Sand Point. Sand Point enters the club exactly at $600 per square foot, and it does it with the highest blended median in the countdown, $1,311,511. Walk Score rates Sand Point at 14, which tells you right away this is not the urban foot traffic version of Seattle pricing. The value signal here is tied to Magnuson Park, Lake Washington, and the quieter residential setting around them. At number 5, Sand Point is the threshold case, $600 a foot, but with a very different feel from the denser neighborhoods ahead. What makes Sand Point interesting is how clearly it separates price from walkability. In some parts of Seattle, a high per-foot number comes from restaurants, transit access, nightlife, and compact buildings stacked close together. Here, the premium reads more like water, parkland, and setting, with Magnuson Park anchoring the area and Lake Washington shaping the whole eastern edge. It is the first reminder that the $600 a foot club is not one single housing style. In Sand Point, the number is about space near the lake, not a constant stream of storefronts outside the door. Number 4 is Queen Anne, the Hilltop Classic at $609 per square foot. Its blended median is $1,118,848, and its walk score is 96. So this one brings the high footprint price together with a much more walkable Seattle pattern. Kerry Park is the postcard anchor, with that famous skyline view over downtown, Elliott Bay, and the Space Needle. Queen Anne lands here because the hill itself still carries serious pricing power, from the top of the counterbalance to the surrounding residential streets. Queen Anne is also where the countdown starts to show how Seattle views can translate into per-foot pressure. The neighborhood is not just priced by house size or median value, it is priced by position, elevation, and the way the city opens up from the hill. A per-foot figure above $600 means an extra room is not just more space in a casual sense. It becomes a meaningful jump in total cost. That is why price per square foot is so useful here. It catches the hidden cost of square footage in a place where the setting has long been part of the appeal. Number 3 is Madrona at $612 per square foot. The blended median here is $1,201,585, and the neighborhood sits on a tree-lined slope down toward Lake Washington. With a walk score of 91, Madrona brings a more walkable profile than Sand Point, while still keeping the lake in the pricing conversation. Its ranking comes from the way those peekaboo lake views, residential streets, and east-facing terrain all get priced into each room. Madrona's place in the middle of the countdown is a good example of why per-foot rankings can feel different from simple median price rankings. A neighborhood can have a 7-figure blended median and still move up or down depending on how much living area is typical across its homes. Here, the price is not only about the final purchase number, it is about what each square foot costs on the slope toward Lake Washington. That makes Madrona one of the clearest, space is expensive entries in the club. The setting is quieter than Capitol Hill or Lower Queen Anne, but the per-foot number is right in the same elite tier. Number 2 is Lower Queen Anne, and this is the biggest surprise in the countdown. It comes in at $621 per square foot, even though its blended median is $518,517, the lowest median among these 5 neighborhoods. That gap is the whole story. The entry price can look modest compared with the $1 million medians elsewhere, while the space itself remains extremely expensive. Steps from Seattle Center, Lower Queen Anne proves this club is not just about grand houses. This is where price per square foot really exposes what a blended median can hide. Lower Queen Anne reaches the 600-a-foot club through compact urban housing, including condos and smaller spaces, rather than the same kind of large residential footprint you see in some hilltop or lakeside areas. With a walk score of 96, the neighborhood is built around proximity, Seattle Center, cultural venues, and a dense urban grid close to the heart of the city. So, the lower median does not mean cheaper space. It means the homes tend to be smaller, while every foot still carries one of Seattle's highest rates, and that sets up the top spot, because the final neighborhood takes the compact space story and pushes it even further. At this level, the ranking is not about which area has the flashiest total home value. It is about the price of usable interior space, no matter whether that space is in a condo, a townhouse, or a detached home. That is why Lower Queen Anne can outrank Queen Anne and Madrona on a per-foot basis. The square foot lens changes the conversation from what is the median to how much does each piece of the floor plan cost. Number 1 is Capitol Hill, the club president at $625 per square foot. Its blended median is $667,813, and its walk score is a perfect 99. This is the highest per-foot figure in the city among these 5, and it reflects a neighborhood where density, nightlife, and famously compact spaces all work together. Capitol Hill's ranking is not about having the highest median. It is about charging the most for each square foot of living area. Capitol Hill is the purest example of the 600-a-foot club's main lesson. The neighborhood's median sits far below Sandpoint, Queen Anne, and Madrona, yet the per-foot cost still rises to the very top. That tells you the market is valuing location and compact urban living with real intensity. When a place has a walk score of 99, the surrounding city becomes part of the package. Restaurants, nightlife, services, and daily errands all sit close together. The trade-off is simple and measurable. Smaller spaces can still carry the highest price per foot. So, the 5 are Sandpoint, Queen Anne, Madrona, Lower Queen Anne, and Capitol Hill. In this tier, Seattle's price story is really about how much space each dollar buys. Which neighborhood would have made your top 5? If this helped, tap like, subscribe, and tell me what Seattle ranking you want next. Every number in this video is sourced, with links in the description.